2 months ago, I started building my first AI startup. And 2 weeks ago, I finally launched it and showed it to the real customers. What they told me killed basically the whole project in like 5 minutes. In this video, I want to share with you what happened, what I got wrong, and 5 mistakes I'll never do again building AI startup. But first, let me show you what I actually built. Because the scale of what I wasted is the part of the lesson. The product was called HireReady. The idea was simple. You upload your CV, your LinkedIn, your GitHub, and the AI turns everything into a chatbot. Instead of sending a PDF resume, you send recruiters one link, they click it, ask any question about your experience, and the AI answers were cited evidence straight from your real documents. And the concept sounded great on paper. Everybody sends PDF, you send a conversation. Unique, interesting, make you stand out. I built 24,000 lines of code, 35 AP endpoints, a full Stripe billing system, an email infrastructure with 6 different email types, a 2-step onboarding flow with AI-assisted profile generation, security, analytics, streaming chat, everything works. All of it for a product that nobody needs. The recruiter feedback the moment it died. So, what actually happened? After about 2 months of building, I finally get to talk into the real HR. The people who is gonna use my tool and then after the chatbot will be generated, right? So I got finally feedback from them, and feedback was not in my favor. One recruiter told me basically, yeah, that sounds interesting, but I wouldn't click on it. And the reality was pretty brutal because IT market is so bad right now. For every position, recruiters get like more than 100 applications. And because of this, it is pretty hard for recruiters to even go through all these hundreds candidates. And that basically creates a situation where recruiter spends really small amount of time for every application. One recruiter told me that he's spending between 5 to 10 seconds on every application. And that just completely destroys the idea of my app, because like who the hell will engage with chatbot if you have like more than 100 candidates? You won't even like click on my link, you won't even like go there, you won't even like ask one question. No, you won't do it. Yeah, so basically there's no time to have a conversation with the chatbot. It's happening too quickly. Other one told me that they don't really even see the real application because they're using tools like SoftGarden or Greenhouse, where everything is parsed and structured automatically. A chatbot link in the CV, they won't even see it. And that was the whole idea basically of my app. The whole value proposition just broke because recruiters won't click on a link. Recruiters won't engage with my chatbot. So it's all kind of like makes no sense. It's all kind of useless. The product sounded good in a pitch, in my head, on paper, in my imagination, but the reality just destroyed it. And if I'm being honest, I kind of knew that it probably won't work. I don't want to hear it. I just wanted to build more. I just wanted to try to implement it. So I just wanted to hope that it will kind of works out. So yeah, here are 5 mistakes that killed my startup idea. And really, they all came from the same root cause. Mistake number 1, I didn't validate the idea. Basically, everybody in startup sphere always says the same thing. You have to validate idea first and only then you have to build it. Everybody knew it, everybody's saying it, and yet I neglected it. I've built first and only then unvalidated it. But to be fair, I did try to validate it. I messaged like 15 recruiters in my LinkedIn account, like all that I have in my profile, in my connections. I've tried to present them my chatbot, ask for a feedback, and so on. None of them even answered me. So all 15 just straight up ignored me. And I was like, okay, if they're ignoring me, then I will just build it anyway, and then I'll see if it works out. And of course, that was basically a critical mistake. The signal that they won't even answering me should be like a signal for me, like a sign like, maybe the idea is really not interesting. That's why they don't even have their attention. They don't even wanna reply to this. Maybe that's because the idea is basically a bullshit. Maybe that's why. But I was like, yeah, whatever. I've already wanna build it, so yeah, let's build it. So yeah. Mistake number 2, I was talking to the wrong people. And the feedback that I did get, majority come from my colleagues or from my friends. And of course they were saying that yeah, it makes sense, it's pretty interesting idea, I can try, and so on. But here's the problem, almost all of them are software engineers. Of course they were thinking about, yeah, is this interesting idea to build, and so on, but they want recruiters. They don't know what the recruiters want. They don't know if the recruiters will even like engage with this link and so on. They just couldn't validate my idea. They wasn't my target group, so it was a bit of a pointless to discussing with them the idea. I needed recruiters and people from HR to really validate my idea, to really be able to say if it's something that will help them, it's something that they would use. But instead of that, I was talking to just the wrong kind of people. I'm supposed to speaking to HR people, not other developers who were saying that yeah, the tech stack of the app is good and it will be fun to implement. And because of this, I get this false confidence that the idea might be good and I should keep moving forward with it. Mistake number 3, I launched way too late. But basically the MVP, the first working version of my product, was done in like maybe a week, or maximum it was like 2 weeks. So maximum in 2 weeks I was able to launch, to get my first real customers. But I launched after 2 months, not 2 weeks. Why? How it happened? Why instead of 2 weeks I launched in 2 months? What happened? Because I kept finding stuff to fix. This button may be better, or I should add also a dashboard. I should a bit like make a refactoring. My code is way too big. Let's add some new tables in database. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And I've just spent all this time just to polishing the app nobody will ever use. I was trying to make the perfect app. I really had this like developer mindset where you always kind of want to add something more, a new feature. Fix that, fix this, make it better. I was in this developing mindset. So instead of 2 weeks, I've launched it in 2 months. And exactly that is the next mistake. Mistake number 4, I was obsessed with features instead of the real feedback. Because I'm a software engineer, I'm always thinking about the tech stack of it, right? So how can I make the code better, or what kind of feature I can add, or what can I do next? So I was always in this flow of developing. I was thinking like, okay, my app, it's not done yet. It's not perfect yet. I should do more features, more stuff. But the reality is that the most important part was feedback, was the way how user engage with the app, and if they will even engage with that. But I've ignored that. I was trying to add more feature, add dashboard, add some features there, add some buttons, add some badges, I don't know, make design better, make code refactoring, and like, I don't know, add tests, like, I don't know, all the stuff you can do in software. And the problem is that nobody asked for all this feature. Nobody needed them. I was building, I don't know, for some imaginary user in my head that potentially will use all this feature. But the reality is that I have no users and I won't get them. So like, for who I was building all this? I don't know, just I was building for building. Mistake number 5. I was scared. And all other mistakes that I've mentioned so far, that all come basically from this cause. I was scared. I was scared to put my idea in front of other people. I was scared that the idea that sounded good in my head will not be good in reality. It was my zone of comfort just to building stuff, because as I said, I'm software engineer. Building stuff, developing, engineering, that is my comfort zone. I can do it good, but I'm not good at presenting, I'm not good at marketing, I'm not good at validating ideas. So that all things that I'm not good at. So I was scared of it. I was scared that my idea will fail. So because of that, I was in this engineering bubble when I was trying to delay launch as much as possible to not fail. Because if you never launched, you didn't fail. You was building the app, you was successful, you was productive. But if you launched and it fails, then it means that your idea was trash. And it doesn't feel good. So I was scared of that. So every time I was supposed to finding customers, getting feedback. In all this time, I was adding new features because adding features feels productive and it's something that I'm good at. Instead of talking to recruiters, I was doing refactoring. And basically, that was the real reason why startup failed. Not because my tech stack was bad, not because I couldn't build it in time, not because I've used the wrong framework or technology, no. Because I was too scared to find out earlier that the idea won't work. So I would say my lesson from building my first startup is build fast, ship fast, validate the idea fast, fail fast, and don't build the app that nobody will ever use. Is this the end? No. It is just my first startup, so it's just the beginning of my journey. I would say that that's normal that my first startup failed. I wasn't expected getting $1 million from my first startup. I was expecting that probably my first idea will fail. I was even thinking like, yeah, probably even like my first 5 ideas probably will fail. Maybe even 10, but that would be a bit bad. But I am happy that that was the first startup that I actually built until the end, because that wasn't my first try to build something, right? I was already trying to build a couple of things in my past, but they never even went live. I've never even launched them. But for this one, I really came pretty far. I bought a domain, I made a launch on Product Hunt, I've posted it on my LinkedIn, on YouTube account, on some other stuff. So I really went live with that, and I'm already proud that I make it so far. But as I said before, it was basically just my first project, and for sure it wasn't the last one. So I will continue building, I will continue creating something new, and I would say that the most important thing is to learning from your mistakes. I just said my 5 mistakes that I've made building this my first startup, and I will do all my best to not repeat them again. So yeah, I'm already thinking about my next startup idea. I already have some ideas, so maybe I will start validating idea pretty soon. So yeah, on this channel I'm gonna validate basically everything that's happening in my startup journey and all my successes and also failures like that one. So if it sounds interesting, don't forget to subscribe. It was Georgi with you. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.